First Night, absolute medieval masterclass of a film. It is the story of King Arthur and Lancelot, played by Richard Gere, and it is absolute classic. Though it does fall victim to being one of those medieval films that were released in the 90s, and it has a very heavily romanticised version of what it would be like to be living in medieval England. So let's take a closer look at the film First Night and see just what I am on about. The film begins in a very stereotypical medieval village. It reminds me a lot of how another film started, and that was very much a masterpiece of film.
Now, you want to know how to win a sword fight?
Those two in the background are holding sticks. I'm not too sure why they're holding sticks.
One with a sword.
He's holding a stick as well. It's as if the filmmakers think in the medieval times people walked around with sticks just for a bit of fun. That's enough about Willow. That is just a whole separate thing. We're going to have to focus on that in its very own video. Let's just focus on First Night, please. Thank you.
Easy.
Hold on a second, we missed that. Let's go back and watch that sword fight again. Because I'm pretty sure the other guy literally just throws his sword up in the air. Because Lancelot's got this magic move where he can make the opponent drop their sword with his mind. It's like some kind of weird voodoo magic. Look closely. Yep, he just threw his sword up in the air.
You're cheeky minky.
Now note in this scene, this guy chops this piece of wood in half with a sword like it's a bit of butter. And then he misses on purpose because Richard Gere's the main character and he can't actually kill him this soon on in the film. And now the piece of wood is now strong enough to withstand the blast from the same sword. What is going on? The film's only just started. It's gone absolutely bonkers.
Don't you worry about that!
Richard Gere, he's had enough by this nonsense. So he uses the same move again, the twirly whirly.
Round and round, always going round and round. I've got him. I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Fuck.
There's another medieval fun stick. I guess the weird one for me is that in this sword fight, swords actually have a bit of weight to them. 2.5 pounds the average weight of a sword. So if you're going to tap a sword with any force, it would not just go flying off into the air.
Is this your sword? Was that a trick?
Yes.
No. No trick.
Yes,
It's the way to
was.
fight. Could I do it?
No, you should.
Tell me. I can learn.
You should. Now, this is where we see the film's main villains. This group of kind of mercenary outlaws, and they are equipped with the most stereotypical stuff you've ever seen in a medieval film.
Oh shit.
Now, this is where we get introduced to the most overpowered weapon in the film, the mini crossbow. It's a one-hit killer, no matter how important you are in the film. For some reason, the villagers have decided amongst themselves to light a brazier in the middle of broad daylight. And now, the outlaws are going to use this against them. I'm not too sure what they're doing, wasting valuable resources when they're all walking around holding sticks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute belter of a scene. Right, little Jimmy is escaping the medieval blaze, and he gets shot by a crossbow when no one is holding a crossbow. Bang! Jimmy is out of there. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the main villain, Maligant.
Maligant.
Yes, our main villain, Maligant. He looks like he's gone to some kind of car boot sale to get his outfit for the film. He's got like one strange, like medieval shoulder guard, and he's got these two oversized hand pauldrons, and the sword does look like he's a character out of Mad Max.
I promise you.
Okay, what have we got going on here? So in this scene, we've got... I'm not really too sure. What is this? It's like a type of medieval football. But medieval football in real life was often called mob ball. And you could get your head kicked in while playing it. It was really violent. You could most likely get killed while playing it. This seems really too nice. And she's going to get substituted off here, and she's not going to like that one bit. And she is gone. The villagers that just did no effort in defending their village will now say they're going to fight.
Don't give in to him, my lady. We'll fight.
I'm not bloody fighting.
Every last one of us.
Don't worry.
Okay, so now we cut to Lancelot. He's in the woods. He hears something coming in the distance, right? Cuts away, and it's the good guys. But what on earth are they wearing? Oh my good God. It's like some kind of weird Star Trek armor. Even Richard Gere does not approve of this armor. And they realise that the branch is chopped down, it's blocking the path, so they're going to have to retreat and kind of do a defensive formation because they think they're going to get ambushed. They form this defensive formation, and that armour, it's plastic, but it's fantastic. Look at that. The guy on the left, he's got his breastplate on, and he's got an extra 3 inches of mail armour, because I have no idea why. The guy on the far right, it's like a woolly jumper, and he's stitched on some metal plates for a bit of protection. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here.
The front and the back. Now, all we have to do is sew them together. And here it is, Edie's blue jumper.
Now, they're going to get attacked here, right? Unfortunately, they're going to get attacked. But they are on horseback, so they have the sheer advantage. But for some reason, they don't charge into them. They hold their position. I'm not too sure why. They lose all of the advantages of being on a horse. So they've somehow beat the outlaws. I don't know how they did it. They didn't use any logical tactics. They just slammed them and they ran off. And these guys didn't have a crossbow, so that's also probably why they lost this fight.
It's alright. It's alright.
Whew. This film needs to slow down a bit. It's an emotional roller coaster. This battle sequence in the woods, whew, it needs to calm itself down just a bit. What the hell was that? He literally just turned into a pigeon. He's turned into a full-on bird. Oh my good God. Now, of course, the outlaws are going to come back in. And these guys are going to do very well because they're equipped with the crossbow, which we spoke about earlier on in the film. 100% success ratio.
Has anyone seen my crossbow in here?
This is another first night classic. The guy throws his crossbow up in the air before the sword actually makes contact with his hand. I wonder if they're actually going to try and kill him in this scene or just pretend.
Kill him.
Oh, never mind.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
This guy literally pops out of nowhere. He's hiding in the bushes while his friends were getting massacred.
Now, what have you got for me then?
I always find it interesting when someone gets shot with a crossbow or an arrow in a medieval film. They seem to just die instantly. It's a one hit and they go all weak and they shut their eyes and they literally go to sleep. So we're finally arrived at Camelot. And we're going to go and see... Oh my good lord. How many torches have they got? Hundreds. They've got lit and braziers on the ground. Where are all the resources coming for all of this? That is overkill.
Welcome to Camelot.
So we've got a bit of technology going on in this scene. It looks like some kind of medieval crane. Like something they would use to build castles, possibly. Maybe that's what this is. I'm not too sure. Oh, what the bloody hell is that? Look at the state of that. It looks like the Crystal Maze or some kind of crazy TV show.
Come on, beat the gauntlet and meet the king!
At least this scene can't get any more unrealistic, I suppose. That's one way of thinking. Jesus Christ, what on earth is that? Is that a castle birthday cake? They literally got a castle cake and giving out slices. Oh my god. And we're going to go live straight to the action here. And he looks like he's wearing a bit of a Neanderthal caveman outfit. And he's going to get hit that hard. He's going back to the prehistoric times.
You did it! You called me Dada!
This guy seems like he's almost, you know, he's doing quite well. He's dodging, he's ducking and diving, weaving, and bang, and he's also out of there. This guy's the best. He gets shocked when someone blows a trumpet and he almost gets himself killed.
Not like that, idiot! No! Come and get padded up first!
Yeah, I got a feeling like the padding isn't actually going to help you. There's like massive swords. They're going to go straight through it. You just know that the filmmakers... I know it's a fantasy film, but you just know that they kind of expect the medieval times probably to be like this. I don't know. Oh my god. I can't believe it. This is such a mad representation of what would be in the medieval castle. The gauntlet. Ladies and gentlemen. Just look at this armour. I don't even really have to say anything about it, but just look at those massive rivets. Those massive squares. I'm sure they would really protect you against enemy thrusts with other swords. And why is everyone wearing armour? This is meant to be a friendly meeting, but everyone's got armour. Even King Arthur, Sean Connery, he's got his bloody plate mail on. No one ever actually jumped off a castle into water because no one actually had fun in the medieval times. Just remember that. Okay, so now we've got... I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening now. There's some kind of medieval speedboat. I can't even say much. Have the next scene. Just play the next scene. I can't say much about this. Oh no. So we've got the main villain water base here. It's an absolute ruin. And it goes underwater. Hence the water base. Look at that. That's quite nice, isn't it?
Yes, my prince. I gave orders that the lady was not to be harmed. This is what's called an oubliette. That's French for a place of forgetting.
Yeah, that is actually right. They would call a dungeon an oubliette. But it is literally a dungeon, most likely a room where you just put prisoners. This is the most extreme oubliette I've ever seen in a film.
Your quarters, my lady. No gates, no bars, no locks. Just walls of air.
Lancelot catches up to the bad guys and he's going to enter the secret evil lair. And he attaches his horse to a bit of driftwood. I don't think that's going to keep the horse there for long.
You have orders to kill me before I've delivered my message.
All right. We'll drag you back.
I just want to say how nice that studded armour is and how good that would actually protect you from, I don't know, crossbow bolts maybe. That is unfortunate. Considering how many studs he's got, it's hit the only place where there are no studs. Now everyone's going to start jumping down the hole now. Bang, he's in. He loves it. He's straight in the oubliette. Now these guards are going to try and come and take out Richard Gere, but they don't seem to be able to get past the oubliette bridge, and they've gone straight in. His mate even threw his own guard off the bridge. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, there they go. Oh no. Arthur and the Knights, they've had enough. So they're going to summon the army, they're going to have a big battle. Why? He's got some kind of neck gorget and a shoulder bit. Where's the protection for the rest of the army? And those guys at the back are just wearing woolly jumpers. Oh, Christ. The good guys, they set up camp for the night. See some sheep and bang. They must, if they were going to disguise themselves as sheep, they would have to crawl from the tree line as sheep. Oh, I just don't know. This is just, every scene introduces a new level of absolute madness. Oh, God. So the warriors of the sheep, they come charging in now. And surely they realise that no one's actually in this camp. And they start attacking straw men. And then the brightest bunch of the pack, he actually decides there's no one here.
They're not here.
I wonder where they are. Oh, what? Oh, God. They're going to do it. They had to do it. They had to do this. And what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen, is a classic fire arrow. No, every medieval film we've got these fire arrows. These ones, they actually look like they've got fireworks on the end of the bows. Oh, God. At least he's holding the bow the correct way. Just that armor, we'll get onto that in a minute. I'm sorry, but if you were to release this in real life on a longbow, the fire on the end of the arrow would just immediately go out because of the force and the wind. It just does not work. Oh, dearie me. And these guys are going to get impaled by tons of arrows. Like, come on. I think Arthur has just realised that. Why the hell has he got the least amount of armour? They've all got full suits of armour and he's literally got this just neck gorget. I must admit that this armour is at least better than the woolly jumpers that we've seen so far. Just when you have a closer look, just look at the size of that visor on the helmet. You could deliver the post through it, it's that big. And that shield is made out of metal. Shields are made out of wood. Just next scene.
Yep, that's me.
Falling back, sire. 2nd Battalion into the left flank. Attack!
So we're going to send in some reinforcements here. They don't look intimidating at all. They're just wearing plastic. Come on. Not only has Richard Gere now removed his helmet so he's got no protection on his head, he's not even going to use his horse. He just jumps off his horse. Not like it really matters because he's got cheat codes on. He's just invincible. Takes out absolutely everyone in this fight in some of the strangest fighting techniques I think I've ever seen. Check out the amount of people in the background that are literally about to swarm and overwhelm him. But never mind. We'll just teleport them back. Teleport them back. This guy gets really close to actually killing the main character. And he literally does it by running in a straight line. He's just invincible. I can't take it anymore. It's just getting ridiculous. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to skip to the end scene. Maybe that's a bit more logical.
Oh.
My God, who is on watch at this castle? Is no one watching anything? There is only one way into this castle. It's surrounded by water, but no one can see a massive army about to attack and destroy everything. Oh no. No, we've got more torches. So Arthur's completely surrounded. He should probably just give up because there's a lot of civilians and women and children in the audience here that are unarmed. Instead of surrendering, he goes absolute crazy and he causes a bloody medieval riot.
Camelot live!
We can see that this soldier borrowed his helmet off a beekeeper. The last fight scene between Maligan and Lancelot, he picks up Arthur's sword and it's like something out of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's just pinging all over the place. It's just absolute craziness. Lancelot looks to use his signature move here. It's a 1-2-3, and we're going to have to slow it down here. And in the slow motion view, we can actually see that the sword is going to float off. It's floated off on its own. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He cannot believe what has just happened to him. Maligant is gonna suffer here. He has been hit so hard, so fast that he has been transported to the 5th dimension. He doesn't even realise that his character is dead. He's going to continue to try and act. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my in detail look at the movie First Night. Thank you all for watching.